Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome all. Hi. This is a shifting video. You won't hear any noises in the background, and you won't hear any insanely happy laughter today because right now I'm all alone. Unless someone walks in all of a sudden. Which if they do walk in, you will hear laughing because that's always what you first hear. Also, another thing, I'm trying to change into more of a summer look. I did try out this dress. I'm not really sure that I like it. You guys know I make my own dresses um for like my maid persona and my maid cosplay. I make my own. I want to try this one out this time, and I'm going to try another one. I don't really like the arms; it's a little bit too tight. So I think in my next one, I'm probably going to try another dress that's kind of a little looser around here. You kind of see like how fat I am, my shoulders and everything. Anyway, I am going to jump right into what happened. Before that, I want to jump into a little discussion about children in general because I've encountered this. I know you guys can tell by the I know you guys can tell by the title what this video is probably about, and um, yes, I am sharing something with you. Okay, I'm sharing something with you. In this reality, I dealt with the same issue that I'm dealing with now with a certain someone there with their way of thinking. My thing is this: in my eyes, as a caregiver, as a teacher, anything like that, I only see the children as children. The problem with this country is that when you get a certain age, by the time you turn 13 or 14, basically grown-ups, the other adults look at you as another adult. They don't really see you as the kid that you are. You still have a lot of growing up to do until you're 18, in which case they say you're an adult. But for some reason, they restricted the legal drinking age to 21, and they call you a minor. And a minor, you're still technically considered a kid, which I don't understand that, but I'll never understand. Anyway, from my mindset, anyone younger than me, anyone who's considered like I consider a kid or a teenager or anything like that, I strictly think of them as a child. Okay, I just do not understand how people's. I don't understand. Sorry, this does frustrate me a little bit. I know it's falling right now. I'm thinking of how to plot my revenge, but I really want to address this subject, and I'm going to come back to it later after I tell you guys what happened. As you guys know, I'm hosting the night cap. I'm doing night classes now, and I'm basically doing like the hero training course for the kids in Class A. Apparently, I'm supposed to be taking on other kids too, but that's going to be like later on. So my goal initially was to get everybody a bunch of endurance training to first start out with, and then later kind of throw in some more challenging stuff like I'll actually start hosting matches, start having them fight against each other. My classroom is humongous, okay? If you guys don't know, I have two classrooms that interconnect with each other. A smaller one for like writing assignments, which probably never do any of that. If anything, I'll move all the desks out of the way, and the kids will probably just sit on the floor, and so that way we can like talk without having those desks. Maybe we'll use the desk that's at kind of a square and have them like sit in like a circle or something. I mean, the thing is, you're never too old to do that with older kids. I know I had younger kids first. You guys probably like, oh, that sounds childish, but I mean, honestly, anyway. And in my other classroom, that's connected to that one's the bigger class, and that's basically like the challenge course. That's where we do most of our training at, and that's where I set up like the obstacle course. But before I had them start that, I had them do 5 minutes of the triangle training. And I told you guys what that was. It's basically like what MMA fighters do to warm up. It's what boxers do. It's basically their way of stepping before you're getting ready to strike someone. So they were doing that, and I had them do for 5 minutes on average, 2 to 3 minutes, like I talked about last time with athletes. So they were dying by the time they got ready to do the obstacle course. The obstacle course was Manetta's idea, but he didn't say he wanted to do an obstacle course. He talked about using his quirk as that. I took his whole thought and changed it into an idea. I set up a rock climbing wall. Right after rock climbing wall, you have this thing with a rope. So I put this long rope across, and at the end, I connected to So I have two rocks at the top of them. They're like these wood kind of like stake things. And it's basically made to hold that line in place. And I put powder on it because I wanted to make it so that if their head touched it, I would be able to see if they had powder on it. Because obviously it's hard to keep track of what all the kids are doing in a classroom. So your job is basically to kind of duck under. It's basically like what you do when you're training to like fight someone. Like kickboxers do it, MMA fighters, stuff like that. And so that, and then I had a course where you run and you kind of jump, but you have to stop at a certain point before you could jump over. So you couldn't just run directly up to where the rope was because it was kind of like the rope is almost kind of a stairway. It kind of goes up higher. So your jump has to kind of clear it. And you can do like any type of jump you want. You can do a dive rollout. You can try and do a regular jump, which is kind of dumb because I feel like that's not going to take you over your hurdle like you need to. That, and then there was a crawling one where I had to kind of crawl underneath something. Basically, this was the obstacle course, and at the end, you had to drag these dumbbells. It kind of imitates a ball and chain, but there's a huge heavy rope at the end of it, so you're kind of pulling it as you cross the finish line. And so when the kids got done with their little 5-minute warm up, they were all dying by the time they got to the obstacle course. So to keep them interested, I told them, I will buy you guys, anyone who completes this challenge, anyone who completes this course today, you will get free tickets to the carnival. And the carnival, obviously, is going to be next week, but it's on Wednesday. What's the difference between carnival tickets and a regular carnival just walking in? If you purchase tickets early, from what I know, you get 3 free meal tickets, which is basically it's just you give them your ticket, they stamp it, and so you get to pick out your one meal that you want for, or you can eat all 3 at the same time. That's basically just items like cotton candy, popcorn, pretzels, corn dogs. So say like I get there early, I get unlimited rides, I get unlimited drinks, and then I get to pick my 3 special items I want. So I might start off with a lemonade and then like a popcorn. And then I can come back later, I can get a lemonade and I can get another item. And then I get one more item. And I don't have to get them all at the same time. And I get unlimited rides. If you just show up at the carnival, you actually have to pay not just to get in, but you have to pay for your rides, you have to pay for your food, that sort of thing. So it's actually cheaper to get your ticket that way. But that's how I see it. I honestly showed up because they're all just like, oh, anyway. Sorry, I'm getting off subject, but I think it's pretty cool. Okay, it is. Anyway, so I offered that, and they kind of perked up. They said, "Okay, we're gonna get through this course." And Midoriya's the first one to start climbing the wall. He's like, "I can do this." I'm like, "You can do it." Everyone starts climbing and making their way to the top, and then they get over to where I watched them over at the little rope I made. Most of them did really good, but a lot of them had powder on their face and on their hair because they kept hitting the rope trying to go back and forth. So they're going to need help with that because if someone's striking at your head, you need to be able to clear what you need to be able to you need to be able to just first off, if your arms are up, you're able to naturally kind of block it from hitting you. But at the same time, they also need to learn how to clear that strike because someone punches you in the head, I mean, you can die from it, getting hit in the head, depending on how they hit you. So there's that, and then so I'm watching the course. Just about everyone's almost clear. There's still a few more people behind. Sue, what's her name? Sue Frappe. She's like struggling. Kaminari is struggling, and so like he's finally making it to the end with like the dumbbells attached to his legs. And I'm like, "Good job, Kaminari. Good job." And I'm yelling at him, and I go, "Okay, well time is almost up." So there's like 30 seconds left. Everyone else make it over the clearing, and then Bakugo is kind of lagging behind. And I go, "Come on, Bakugo, you can do it." I go, "Bakugo, time is running out. It's 15 seconds left." I'm calling him, I'm encouraging him to come to me, and then he's getting closer. He's starting to like fight a little bit, but he's sweating. He's like out of breath. He's struggling to like hold himself up. And so like I kind of step over the line a little bit because this is the thing, guys. I have a soft spot in my heart for any type of kid. I know I said I would become the devil, but it's really hard to see him struggling and suffering like this. Also, I wanted him to be able to get, a meal ticket. And the thing is, I might be a harsh teacher in my classroom, but I have a saying: cry in the dojo, laugh in the battlefield, because Your job is to cry here. You're supposed to have a hard time in my class. That way when you get out there, you're not having that bad of a time. It's still going to be hard, but you won't be suffering like you are now. This is perfect. This is good for you. Did I hear a weird noise? No one's going to walk in on my video. Anyway, if they do, I'll just have to pause it. Whatever. I'm not editing my video after this, so whoever is there is just going to be there. Sorry, I just like flew off the subject completely. Anyway, I got a soft place in my heart for kids that are really struggling, really trying. So Bakugo is struggling, and there's literally like 5 seconds left. So I step my foot over the line. I go, come on, take my hand. And he's not really reluctant to take my hand. He's kind of staring at my hand, and then he slowly like reaches for it. Because I'm like, you got 3 seconds. He just grabs my hand, and I pull him over the line. When I pull Bakugo over the line, he falls into me, but I embrace him, and I say, great job. I'm so proud of you. And I hug him, and I kind of like rub his back a little. And so the way his head is laying, it's almost on my chest, but it's not completely. It's more like on my shoulder here, because I'm kind of like this, like good job. But at the same time, Bakugo is not really a cuddly person, but he was so exhausted that he was basically just resting on me. Like if I had to let go of him, then if I hadn't have embraced him and just, let it go, he would have fallen down on the ground and probably hurt himself. He probably wouldn't have been that hurt, but I wanted to show him my encouragement, and I wanted to show him some type of like love. Yes, I am caring, but I'm hard too. I'm like a tough love kind of person. I am, but I do care about my kid. Seeing him, he made it. He strived. He strived to make it through. Just being like a couple steps late, that would have killed his confidence. Especially for the type of person Bakugo is. He's really hard on himself. So that embrace was really, that was great job. I'm proud of you. That sort of thing. I didn't keep hugging him. I eventually, and then rest for a couple seconds. He held on to me while he was breathing heavy, because he was tired. I said okay, and I slowly like backed up a little so that I can kind of sit him down. So he was sitting like on his side, and I said okay, great job everyone. And the thing is, what else was I gonna say? Yes, I know Bakugo's hard on himself. Um, and I hate seeing kids struggling. There was something really important I wanted to put there too. Originally, when I thought of crossing the line, pulling him across the line, my original thought was, yes, you made it. I was going to start jumping up and down. Like, yeah, you made it. But the thing is, Bakugo was too tired for that, to have um, what is it? Like action toward him. So I really gave him that caring, motherly type of gesture where it's okay, you made it through. Now you can kind of rest. It's okay. Like that, you made it through the training. I'm proud of you, like that. So then I guess Toshinori was there. He sort of saw the whole thing play out. He said, great job to everyone. I said, good job, everyone. I'll bring you your tickets tomorrow. It was so great, And, I'm like, so how many tickets is that? It's pretty expensive, but I have a rich baby daddy. He's fine. He'll pay for it. So not worried. Anyway, speaking of which, anyway, sorry guys, I'm gonna roll my eyes on camera, but it's like, what the hell, people? I'll tell you about my encounter here in this reality after I talk about what happened here with this freaking guy. Everyone leaves. So I'm in my classroom. I'm like, should I leave the obstacle course here or should I put it away? Because I feel like this would be a really good training exercise for them to be able to do it again. I could, so I'm talking to Toshinori the whole time. I go, I could just switch this around. I could put, the rock climbing back here, and I could put the other obstacles like jumping and stuff up here. That way, their first thing they can start off with is a jump. You think that's a good idea? And I look over at Toshinori, and he's like this. And I go, are you having a bad day or something? Like, what's wrong? He's like, why were you hugging Bakugo? Like, why was he hugging you that way? His head was like right near your boobs. I said, okay, so first off, we're not going to talk about that. All right, that's whatever. That's irrelevant. What do you think I should do with this course? I said, you know what, never mind. I like it this way. I'm going to leave it like this then. And I walked past him. And he goes, "You're not going to talk about this?" I said, "No." I said, "He's a child." Okay. And if you could think that way, you must have a twisted and perverted mind. I mean, you might need some mental help because only a sicko could really think that way. If you can look at a kid and think anything like that, I don't care if you think, you can look at a kid and see an adult hugging them and go, "Well, I hope they're not doing anything to them." If you're thinking that way, there's something wrong with you. There might be something mentally wrong with you. I'm not saying it's your fault you're thinking that way, but you might be mentally ill. You might want to get help before I mean, I don't know. I've never had those kind of thoughts. And being a complete caregiver and a dog who really care, if you really care about kids, you know how to care for them. You want to give them that encouragement. And nobody should be able to look at you and say, that was weird that, he hugged her. Well, that was weird that, the kid hugged her and like kind of rubbed her arm or something like that. I mean, like I said, if you can think that way, that means that you might be a little messed up in the head and a little sick. And Toshinori was just like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, what?" He's like, "Nothing." I was like, "Where's my kiss?" He just leaves out. I'm like, "Fine, whatever." He's like, "I'll be back later." I'm like, "Okay, I'll see you later." And I shifted out of there. I freaking left because I was like, I don't have time to deal with your foolishness. Like, if you have the ability to think that way, it might mean that you might have a sick mind secretly. If you can think that way, if you can see, what is it like? If you can see, like if you see a grown up and a dog kiss a boy on the cheek or something, or she gave him a kiss on the cheek and she's playing with him, kissing him on his face and stuff, it's like you're gonna think something about that, like, "Oh, I hope nothing else is going on." Yeah, there's something wrong in your head. I'm sorry. Like I don't. Anyway, regardless of that, I came back here because I was like, you know what? I was like, whatever, Toshinori. Like, I'm not gonna wait for you. If you're gonna complain to me about that, then maybe I don't need to be a teacher there. That's what I thought. Like, I've had so many problems since I started trying to like teach there as a teacher. Being sent to like the back area, having it be a detention course. Now I'm having it be a course that I'm actually interested in, training them to be heroes. Now I have to deal with jealous people like him. Like, how can you be jealous of a child? Speaking of which, let me throw in what happened in this reality, something similar. So I was in a relationship once. Okay, guys, yes, I was actually in a relationship here with a guy who was married. No, he wasn't married. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. He was not married, okay? He had kids, all right? He had previously been married. He had two kids, and so the kids came with the relationship. He talked to me about it before we started dating. I said I was fine with it. I like kids, whatever. Me and the kids got along right away because I get along well with the kids. And so as me and him grew closer, so did me and the kids. We started bonding. The little boy that he had two, a boy and a girl. He was about 13 years old. Well, was he 13 or 12? He had just turned 13, something like that. And me and him shared our love of video games together. And I used to call myself cool girl, and he used to call himself awesome boy because it's cute. It's a cute little thing, Our little that was how we like kind of acknowledged each other. So we're playing a video game and all, and it's my turn. I don't even remember what we're playing, but he kind of had he had his head resting here on this side, like on my shoulder, kind of. And so like the ex walks in. He's like, "But what's going on here?" I'm like, "We're playing a game." He goes, "You get off of her like that. Don't rest your head there. It's inappropriate." And I just looked at him and I'm like, "How is it inappropriate?" He goes, "Because he had his head there and you just let him. You're okay with him having his head there?" I go, "First off, I'm not some kind of weird, like pedophile person. I'm not interested in your kid, okay?" Like, and that was the end of our relationship right there. I just stopped talking to him because obviously you're a sicko. You don't have the ability to think like a normal person, a child. Honestly, yes, that ended our relationship, but it didn't end right away. I think that's what slowly start like over time. I started to grow further away from the kids because I tried not to be too close to them. Also, my relationship with him kind of faded away too, just because his way of thinking was just like messed up. But also Toshinori, you cannot think that way. Like honestly, like when I go back there, I'm gonna pretend it didn't happen, and I hope he pretends it never happened too. Because I'm sorry, I'm not changing my role as a teacher or as a caregiver. I'm not gonna stop encouraging these kids or being there for them. And if I quit being a teacher just because of one person, just because of what he thought, whatever's going on in his that little head of his, who knows? And it's like, oh, you guys know Bakugo is not a cuddly person. I never would have been able to hug him or anything like that. He was just so exhausted. No, he didn't try to like push me off, It's like he was so tired, he was resting on me. He was using me as a rest. So, and yes, I did sit him down afterwards. I kind of laid him down, so I gently like moved back and kind of let him fall a little bit to the ground, because that's what you do. You instead of trying to, I wasn't gonna carry him or walk with him anywhere. He's pretty heavy. I mean, I was strong enough to like hold him up at least. So, but I'm just saying, like, anyway, guys, I know, right? Isn't that crazy? So, what do you think about outfit? I don't really like it. I feel like it's not really fluffy enough for me. I really like the roughly fluffiness of it, that sort of thing. And this doesn't really give the right type of vibe I'm looking for, so I'll probably end up changing this into different. But I definitely want to do white. Maybe do a white dress instead of the black. Because, like I said, it's a lot hotter now than it was. So, also, are you guys coming to Anime STL? If you do, come to the Honey Tea Maid Cafe because I'll be there. Cotton candy doll. I'll probably look exactly the same. There just might be a few things different about me. This year for Anime STL, I'm going to be Fem Ash Ketchum. And I have a special dance I'm doing on stage. You guys are going to love it. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so hilarious. Anyway, I did want to let you guys know what happened. Let me know if you've ever encountered anything like this in your relationship. I just want to know, like, I can't be the only one, right? And let me know what your opinions are and what you think of it. Like, honestly, like, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know your opinion because I'm so adult, and you know, I'm very much an adult. Like, I'm not interested in children and little freaking kids. Like, I don't know what the problem is there. People just aren't allowed. People don't want to show affection. Even regular parents don't want to show affection to their kids. They don't want to hug them. They don't want to compliment them. They don't want to say good job. And I was once told this, like, if your kid never asks you for anything, then that's really pathetic. That is pitiful. And you should feel ashamed as a parent. If your child never asks you for anything, if they just say, if they're okay with everything, if your child is a yes person to everything you say to them, to everything you suggest, if they don't have an their own opinion, if they just go along with whatever you say, you're parenting, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to redo it or something, or you're gonna have to reevaluate it if you don't know. Like, I was just told that, like, honestly. Anyway, um, I don't know when I'm gonna go back there. I might go back there tonight. So guys might get another video tomorrow, just telling you guys what happened. Because I feel like I do need to talk to him about this. I wish he would drop it, but I know he's probably not gonna drop it. He's gonna say something else about it again. And yeah, I'm prepared to hear what he has to say, but at the same time I'm not, because like I said, it's the same. I mean, that's like looking at a little toddler. Why is your hand there? Because they're a freaking baby. They know. They're not, people don't think that way. you know, we weren't alone. I wasn't like alone in a room with him. And like, I mean, even if I was, so what? That's not, no, it's not, you should not be thinking that way. That seriously pissed me off and made me mad, guys. I was just like, I have to ask, I was like, I have to ask you guys about that to see what you have to say about it. Because honestly, it's freaking ridiculous. Anyway, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. And if you hated this video, know what to do. Also, don't forget to ring the bell. That way, when my next video comes out, you guys will be able to know right away. Ding! And, you know, yeah, I think I'm going to go back there tonight and talk to him. I just want to know what's going on through his head. He just needs to talk to me. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.